Today, I'm a barista, and as you can see, we're going to be making coffee for just you and me. Oh boy, maybe I shouldn't sing. Hi, everybody, I'm Mark Allen, and this is a special edition of Mark Allen Cooks. We're going to have a coffee tasting today from Steeped Coffee, and we're going to do that right now. So if you're a coffee lover like I am, stay tuned. And right behind me, right over here, we are already boiling some coffee, some water, because we have a new way of preparing coffee and tasting coffee. We're going to go to Santa Clarita, California, and we're going to talk with our guest, Evan Dorhmann. And let's bring Evan in. Hello, Evan.
Hey, Mark. Thanks so much for having me. Happy to
Oh,
be here.
yeah, good to meet you finally. We've been trying to arrange something for a while. I'm going to take this out because you have a unique delivery system, which I think is fabulous. Um, everybody almost everybody likes coffee, and if you don't have a Starbucks on your corner, you have a Pete's. If you don't have a Pete's, you have a local uh, roaster. Um, but steeped coffee comes as I'm going to call it a tea bag, and it's probably, oh, the smell. Oh, it's great. It's got a great nose. It's a tea bag. And so I don't have to buy an expensive piece of equipment, and I don't have to buy those pods. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's correct. Our founder, Josh Wilbur, wanted to create a solution to allow people to enjoy premium quality coffee on the go without the need for equipment. So, steeped coffee is the intersection of really high quality coffee beans combined with a proprietary brew bag that's all sourced from plant based materials, all compostable, even the outer packaging. And he wanted to make a really easy way for people to enjoy it on the go or in their home. So that's how Steep Coffee was born about 6 years ago.
And you've been with the company for those 6 years or most of it?
I've been with the company just for about 9 months. I met the founder, Josh Wilbur, when he was just starting this coffee. I think I joined him on his first sales pitch. I was representing a tea company, and we were both trying to sell into a hotel in Santa Barbara. I was in LA at the time, and Josh was coming down from Santa Cruz. So we met up, and I have a background in premium coffee. So immediately I saw that his product, his innovation really served a need in the coffee space. So fell in love with the concept and kept in touch over the years, and been working with the company for almost a year now.
Well, congratulations. We're going to brew a cup of coffee. Is that right? Am I going to brew this?
Yeah, we refer to it as brewing. It's a full immersion brewing. So even though it doesn't look like a French press brew method, it's very similar to a French press in that you're keeping the coffee fully submerged in hot boiling water for about 4 to 5 minutes. The only difference between our product and a French press is our compostable materials keep all the coffee concentrated right in the bag, so you don't have any additional equipment that you need, just hot water.
So I'm going to pour the water in now.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead and pour that right over the brew bag. And then once you fill up your cup, about 8 ounces of water, we recommend dunking the bag up and down for a few seconds just to get it fully saturated. And then we recommend that people go ahead and let the bag sit in there for about 5 minutes. You don't have to cover the top and steep it, but you can. And the beauty of it is you can just kind of leave it in the bag, leave the bag in contact with the water, and it's good to go.
All right, let's get that one there going too. And you can see that we've got some clear glasses that will show you. Now I'm going to let that sit there. Carol, let me know about 3 minutes because it's been in there a minute. Um, there are different blends, correct?
We have different blends of coffee, and most specifically to denote our lineup is we have different roast profiles. We know that some people really like a light roast coffee, some people prefer more of a medium, others prefer a dark roast, or even the darkest, which would be a French roast. So we have different roast profiles that we feel like cater to people's different preferences when it comes to what kind of coffee they like. Because
Well,
coffee is a really subjective thing. Everybody knows what they like, and everybody has their own unique preferences. So we try to cater to all those diverse preferences out there.
this is a freshly ground nitro blend. It's the sunrise blend. So this is going to pop me awake, right?
That's a goal with all of our coffees. That's a light roast. So one of the common misconceptions about coffee is caffeine content and roast profile. Most people associate those bold flavors of a dark roast coffee with having higher caffeine content. It's actually the lighter roast coffees that have a slightly higher caffeine content. So that sunrise blend is our lightest roast profile. It's composed of some really great Latin coffees, and yeah, we're really proud of that one.
All right. So while this is being dunked, um, you have a background in coffee and tea. Uh, have you always liked it? I mean, growing up as a kid, did you like coffee ice cream? Because I did. I was
Yeah,
6
yes,
years
you
old and I
mentioned that.
loved coffee ice cream.
My relationship with coffee is just always experiencing my parents making it in the kitchen in the morning and it being such a ritual for them. I think my first coffee that I started consuming was a vanilla latte out of a vending machine in my high school. And I slowly progressed into becoming more focused on just coffee as a beverage with no other ingredients. But food and beverage were a big part of my personal life. I grew up just really immersed in a city of Portland, Oregon that had a great culinary scene. And so some of my fondest memories were seeing people prepare foods in a lot of local establishments. Like I can remember a specific bakery that I would always visit as a kid and seeing these women decorate cakes. I have a lot of fondness with the preparation and the service environment of food, and it's a big part of
And in Portland, of course, there's Voodoo Donuts, which goes very
yeah.
well with coffee, right? It,
True. Yeah. Portland has a rich culinary scene, great scene. A lot of people know the donut shop, certainly, and we have a really rich coffee history. Seattle is obviously known nationwide and globally as being a mecca for coffee. Portland's pretty proud of our coffee scene, which really blossomed in conjunction with this more recent iteration in the evolution of our coffee history, which is that premium wave, often referred to as the third wave in coffee, which really started in the mid 90s and continues to this day.
all right. I've taken the bag out and
You
I've spilled
can
a little
let it
bit.
sit in there
Huh?
if you want to. The longer you let it in, I would recommend keep the bag in there and you'll see the flavors only continue to develop. That's one of the unique innovations about steep coffee is oftentimes people are really specific about not letting coffee over extract. Our brew bag does a really good job of preventing over extraction of the coffee, and the flavors just kind of continue to develop. So we recommend for people to just go ahead and keep the bag in there.
And I would not be a good barista apparently because I spilled. But
It's all right.
so while I'm drinking this, should I leave the bag in?
It's really personal preference. I would say if you like a really robust flavor, really rich extraction, go ahead and just leave it in. It also just minimizes waste in terms of not having to, move things around. It makes the process easier.
And when I throw the bag away, it is um, environmentally. I can put it in my organic waste container.
So it's certified. Yeah, it's certified compostable. There's no certification for home compostability. There's no national standard for that yet. We have certifications for all of our packaging materials. If you don't have a commercial composting facility near you, you can take it to somebody who can utilize home composting. Our founder really believes in being a first mover and an innovator when it comes to compostability, meaning, in addition to the fact that there's less of an environmental footprint associated with the front end of our supply chain because we're sourcing exclusively from plant based materials. we hope that by creating compostable materials and creating more awareness around compostability, we will help be part of a movement to create more of an infrastructure for commercial composting over time. So that's really a big part of our goal.
All right. Well, let's. This is the part that I really like. Okay, and I'm just going to tell you, Evan, that I'm going to take full responsibility when I like this coffee.
All right.
It's my. Okay. Here we go. That's mellow. I thought it would be stronger.
Yeah. So with our darker, you're drinking our lighter roast profile. Our Breakwater blend and our Odyssey blend are going to be both darker roast profiles. They'll have more of that robust kind of hit you in the face flavor. And that comes from the development of the roasting process. When you roast coffee darker, you're caramelizing the sugars that are inherent. And that's what creates that really robust flavor that people associate with a dark roast. Lighter roast profiles have become a little bit more in vogue, I'd say, in more recent years. And again, to each their own. We try to create a roast profile that speaks to anyone out there, depending on what their preferences are.
I'm gonna. I'm. I like Starbucks. Okay, and they have a slightly burnt flavor to
Mhm.
them. Anything comparable in the steeped coffee?
Yeah, I would give our Odyssey blend a try.
All right, we'll do that next. I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm going to hit the water again, and I'm going to look in the box. Uh, how does this come? Now I've got a box here, and you can see this, the top. And I've got, I think there are four flavors in here: Sunrise, California, Odyssey, and Breakwater. And I'm going to look in here for the Odyssey. I saw that earlier. Here it is.
Well, actually, go ahead and check out the Odyssey. Check out the Breakwater as well. Our Sunrise is our lightest blend. Our California is our medium blend, and then the Odyssey and the Breakwater. Those are our two top sellers. One of them is a dark roast, and then one of them is a French roast. The French roast would be the darkest that we offer, and I would just encourage you to try whichever one you think is going to speak to you. If you like,
Let's do the
the
French roast. We do that right over your face. We were throwing that. That's okay. We're hiding you, Evan, and you could see that, right?
yeah,
Yes. Okay. Good. So we've got the water boiling, and I took out the breakwater.
there
When we
you
make coffee, and we do that, we don't do it every day, but on the weekends, if we're doing a special breakfast, we'll do a French roast. And we have a French
Nice.
press and all that. Now we don't need all that. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, when your water boils, go ahead and pour that over the bag, and then you can, dunk it for a few seconds like you did the last one, and then go ahead and let that steep for a full 5 minutes. That's what we recommend as an ideal brew time if you want to get that fully extracted flavor.
Okay, I think we're going to do this one. I love this part.
Yeah, it looks great. Love the clear glass that you got there.
Yeah. By the way,
You,
folks, you can try this at home. It is made for you to do that. Okay. So I've got that. And I've got a spoon here, and I'm going to just let it go down like that. Where does the coffee come from? Where do you?
Yeah, coffee is grown about 30 degrees north and south of the equator. Coffee is a shrub that really likes a warm tropical climate. It grows coffee. We source exclusively Arabican coffee, which tends to be grown at higher elevations. And so there's three primary growing regions. You have coffee that's grown in Latin America, which is Central America and South America. Coffee is also grown in Africa, and then in different parts of Asia. Those are like really the primary growing regions. Most of our coffees are sourced from Latin America. All coffee originated from Africa. So you have a lot of genetic diversity in Ethiopia as it relates to coffee. You can find like heirloom crop coffee growing in the wild in parts of Ethiopia. And over the course of a few centuries, the shrub was transported to all different parts of the globe. Latin coffees tend to be really sweet and clean, generally speaking. You have cultivars that lend themselves to kind of a lot of the flavors that we think of when we associate with coffee. Really great burnt sugar and cocoa-like flavors.
Hmm.
Um, African coffees, generally speaking, can tend to be a lot more complex. Some of them profile a little bit more like tea. And then coffees that are grown in different parts of Asia tend to be a little bit more earthy, and really actually translate really well for some dark roast profiles.
So,
Um,
with you mentioned that your first foray into coffee on your own was at the high school coffee machine, and you had a
yeah.
vanilla latte. Can I use the steep coffees to make a latte of any kind?
Oh yeah, 100%. Lattes traditionally are the combination of espresso, which is a brew method, combined with milk. A lot of people have milk frothers in their kitchen in this day and age. So adding a concentrated version of our coffee where you could maybe increase the ratio of the amount of bags that you use in contact with water, would get you a more concentrated brew. And then you could add milk or froth milk to create something more akin to a latte. Typically, our brew bag contains about 14 grams of roasted coffee, and we recommend about 8 ounces of water to create a cup that's eight fluid ounces. But again, you could increase the number of bags to water and create a beverage that's much more concentrated. Um, Cold coffee has been increasing in popularity significantly in recent years. A lot of people like making cold brew. So there are actually instructions on our package, on the back of the bag and on the box, where you can make cold brew. A lot of people like to take 2 bags of our product and combine it with 16 ounces of cold water and let it steep for about 16 to 24 hours. And you have delicious coffee that's great for iced coffee, because that's essentially what cold brew is coffee that's never steeped with hot water, just steeped with cold water to make delicious iced coffee.
Got it. All right, we're going to try the second blend here. This is the breakwater blend that I'm going to try now. And again, it's got a great, I'm going to use a wine term, nose. Now this is more robust. It's a stronger coffee.
Yeah, definitely. Those are most Americans prefer a darker roast profile, and so we found that the Breakwater blend and our Odyssey blend, which are our two dark roast profiles, those are really our top sellers in most circumstances.
I'm going to taste this again. I'm going to turn on the water again. We've got time to do one more brew before we
Great.
have to go. Are there notes in coffee like wine? Um,
Yeah. So, yeah, wine and coffee are the two most complex beverages, actually, beverages or foods that human beings consume. So, a lot of the tasting notes are similar. There's a great company called Linez that manufactures um, aromatic kits that kind of break down the components of the common flavors and aromatics that are found in both wine and coffee. There's actually a separate kit that the company makes for coffee and wine. So yeah, a lot of similarities between the two foods and how we associate specific flavors with each unique coffee.
mm,
And people have to become really knowledgeable as it relates to the flavor compounds and the aromatics that are found in coffee when they're doing any kind of quality grading, which is usually what's done at origin where coffee is grown to assess the type of price that a coffee might gain on the open market.
I'm going to just wiping up my spill because if I don't, Carol will have to do that later, and I could potentially be in trouble. Now I've already put in here, and I wanted everybody to see this. Uh, the um, the bag. This is the Odyssey coffee that I'm going to try next. And if you can look at the side, we can see a side view, Carol. Next, here, uh, you can see the bag, and it's it's not like a tea bag because it's fuller. There's more material in here than in a regular tea bag, at least as far as I can tell. All right.
Yeah, that's correct. Our founder, Josh Wilbur, had to go through a lot of design iteration to create a brew bag that was going to allow for the water to flow through the bag and allow for the coffee to be extracted without creating a situation where a lot of the fines or the smaller particles in the ground coffee would actually make their way out. So we want the flavor to extract out, but all of the sediment of the coffee, hopefully, to stay as much as possible in the bag itself.
Well, I don't know if we're going to have time because you've got a meeting. I'm going to let this sit here for another couple of minutes. I really appreciate your time and sharing coffee with us here on Mark Allen Cooks. As you develop more flavors, will you come back?
We'd love that. Yeah, we have about 300 trade partners that we license our brew bag to. So we're proud to be able to feature coffees from all across the country and actually some international partners via our brew method. Anytime you would like to talk more about steeped and potentially some of the other coffees that we source and feature in our brew bag, it would be an honor. Thanks so much for having me on, and thanks for featuring steeped coffee today.
Not a problem. Evan, just one last thing. Um, where do I buy it?
So steepedcoffee.com is the best way to get a hold of our coffee. That's steeped, STEEPED, coffee.com. And we're in the process of trying to make our coffees more available in grocery stores in the future. So be on the lookout for seeing a steep coffee set in a grocery store near you in the not too distant future.
Got it. We're going to let you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. We'll be back very soon with another Mark Allen Cooks Your Dinner or drinks your coffee or something, something like that.